My name is Max Shelkoff. I am a senior consultant. I spend 95% of my time working with workforce development professionals like yourselves. It's really kind of my main focus is being involved in all of those different projects and organizations and workforce development. And we're going to be covering some texting and mobile tools for mobile or for workforce development today. Little bit of homework before we dive in, a little bit about Engage by Sell. So we have been in business. This is our 20th year now. Shout out Engage by Sell. 20 years is great. And we're a 100% domestically based company. I know that's becoming more and more important every single day, especially when you're talking about software and government procurement. They're really looking to try and keep as much of it within our borders as possible. And something that I always like to touch on too, and some of you folks from Ohio that are joining us today can attest to this, 100% real customer support. We don't have a phone tree. If you need assistance, we have real humans on our end that help you jump on Zoom and provide you with assistance as needed. And kind of a little precursor of what we're going to go into today, but texting and mobile web app. Millions of text messages are sent through our platforms, and millions of folks visit the mobile web app platforms, even just specifically in workforce development, and kind of help bridge some of these communication gaps going on. So, what are we talking about today? So, some of the mobile kind of tools and resources and text messaging and communication tools that we provide are really helping address some challenges that are going on in workforce development. And I'm sure all of you on this call that are in workforce development are kind of having the same pain points as everybody that we talk to across the country. We are deployed in over 30 something states now, so we are pretty national at this point, East Coast to West Coast and everywhere in between. But the big challenges is how do we do as much as possible with less budget, less staff, and things are getting really challenging. So we need to make the most of everyone's time and be as efficient as possible with the staff we do have and the resources at our disposal. And the first kind of big challenge going on is all about engagement, right? So I don't know about all of you, but if the kind of the tools in your toolbox for engaging with either job seekers, program participants, apprenticeship folks, TANF programs, whatever it is, again, if the tools in your toolbox are phone calls and emails, it is getting extraordinarily difficult, right? So nobody picks up the phone anymore. We all have caller ID on our cell phones. We all let it go to voicemail if we don't recognize that phone number, and we get to that voicemail when we can or when we feel like it. And email, especially with younger demographics, but really across the board, has become so inundated, right? We just get so many emails. I encourage all of you, and put it in the chat if you got me beat, but kind of the why with texting here. I always pick on myself. I've got 46,449 unread emails in my personal Gmail account, and I've got two voicemails in there I haven't gotten to yet. And as you saw, I have zero unread text messages, right? And Old Navy's trying to email me 10 times a day, trying to get me to buy a new shirt or whatever it is. So, point being is phone calls are getting extremely difficult. They're extremely difficult to scale as well. So if I've got 30, 40, 50 people in my caseload, nobody likes being a phone warrior and sitting down and making those 40, 50, 60 phone calls a day when less than half of them are picking up anyways. And then from kind of a community outreach perspective, if you have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in your database, it's impossible to call them all, right? So that's why the text messaging platform really kind of bridges that communication gap that's going on. And I'm going to share my screen and do a little demo of both the tools I'm about to discuss, but sneaking ahead here, a little couple clicks of a button, everybody in the database gets a text message. You can automate your caseload follow-up. Everybody in your caseload gets a text once a week, and it can be that two-way communication. So if they do respond, you can have those long format conversations and actually assist those people and provide the information and help that they actually need, right? And so there's just less chase involved with text messaging, okay? And then obviously, another huge challenge going on in workforce development is all about resource accessibility. And really, what I mean by that is workforce development has always been, and unfortunately still is, the best kept secret, right? There are so many amazing programs, so many amazing resources available to people, and they just don't know about them. And part of that is because these resources are kind of scattered all over the place. So that's part of the challenge is we have all these amazing resources and they might be on this website, they're on the state-sponsored website, they're on paper at the job center still, they're anywhere and everywhere, kind of spread out all over the place. And there isn't a great kind of resource hub that just brings them together until Engage by Cell developed the mobile web app platform for that. Okay. So quick recap on the challenges here. So, our budgets are getting slashed. We have less staff. We need to do more with less. Nobody's picking up the phone. Nobody's answering my emails. So, we need to start utilizing some sort of mass text messaging platform to bridge that communication gap and ramp up the engagement to the highest degree possible. And the other challenge is all about information accessibility. Our resources are spread out all over the place. They haven't been digitized. They're on paper at the job center or the center still. And we can assist and build kind of a centralized resource hub and digitized what needs to be brought to the 21st century here and elevate all of your information accessibility to the highest degree possible as well. Okay. And how do we do that? Two main tools here. So, as I mentioned, the text messaging platform and the mobile web app platform. And the text messaging platform, and again, I'm going to share my screen and kind of run through a quick little demonstration of both these tools. But before I do so, I want to give kind of a brief description of both of them. So, the text messaging tool really has kind of three main kind of use cases and tools inside of it. So there is a mass inbound component to this text messaging platform. And really, it's kind of a program recruitment tool, an information access point for folks. I'm sure all of you on this webinar have seen something like this before, whether it was on the side of a truck, on a billboard, on a flyer. Are you looking for a new career? Text jobs to XYZ phone number, right? So what that does, it enables you as the workforce organization to put that call to action out there into the communities, encourage people to text in, and it will automatically text them back, maybe providing them the link to the website, a link to eligibility form for WIOA programs, or just some kind of information for them to get started at least and learn about what you do and how you can help. But what it also does simultaneously is captures that person's phone number. So when they text in that call to action, it's helping you build that database of potential program participants that then you can start engaging with. So there's that mass inbound component. There's obviously a mass outbound component. So like I mentioned earlier, a couple clicks of a button, everybody in the database can receive a text. For example, super common use case is something like, hey, job fair next Friday, click here to register. Or, hey, we have this new amazing career opportunity local to you, click here to apply. Things of that kind of nature, kind of general comms, right? And then also with that mass outbound, the second most common use case is for case managers, right? So as I mentioned, we can't scale phone calls. Nobody picks up, nobody answers my emails anymore. So a case manager can upload their entire caseload, whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 people, and they can automate their follow-up. So once a week, everybody in their caseload, or once every 2 weeks, or once a month, whatever you want, receives a text message, and it can be personalized. So it says, hey, Max, this is XYZ over at the job center. Don't forget, you can always text me back if you need assistance, right? So you're ensuring that at least everybody in your caseload is receiving that text and staying engaged in the program. And that leads me into kind of the third and main use case within the text messaging platform is a one-on-one component. Okay, so if I'm a case manager and I push out that weekly text in my caseload and someone responds to it, it will notify me, hey, someone responded to your text. It will kick that conversation into a separate queue. where you can have all of those long format conversations and actually assist that person as well. And you can obviously go in and follow up with folks and do it really quickly and efficiently inside of that system as well. Okay. So those are kind of the three main pieces with the text messaging. The mobile web app platform. So let's kind of start by defining what a mobile web app is. We're all super duper familiar with the term app, right? We all have, 20, 30, 40 of them downloaded onto our phone. The IT and kind of technical terminology for that hard downloaded app is called a native application. And Engage by Cell used to build native applications, hard downloaded apps, and we stopped doing it quite a while ago, some years ago, because data suggested and the writing was on the wall, and we were getting a ton of feedback from our customers saying, hey, it is getting extremely difficult to get individuals to download an app. So if I was a case manager, I would have to call that person in my caseload and say, hey, Max, do you have an Apple? Do you have an Android? Okay, go to the App Store. You got to download this app. Oh, that's the wrong app, Max. It's the one with this whatever. You got to download this app and keep it up to date because we're always putting content in there for you. And at the end of the conversation, that individual just might say, I don't want this on my phone, right? Or they're not going to keep it up to date or whatever the excuse is. But it was giving a download barrier is kind of what we refer to it. It had a lot of friction in that process. So the mobile web app, what it is, it looks, feels, and acts as close to a hard downloaded app experience as possible, but it's entirely web-based, okay? So what that means is there is no hard download required. The access point for it is you scan a QR code, boom, it pops up, or it pairs super well with our text messaging platform because in that example I gave earlier, I could just shoot out a text with a little clickable link in it to that person in my caseload and say, hey, Max, I would love to help you with your resume. Just click this link for me and upload it. And that individual could click that link. Up pops the mobile web app where you can put your job board, they can upload documents, they can fill out forms, they can fill out PDF forms, e-signatures, have videos, polls, quizzes, surveys, you name it. Any and all of that content can live inside of there. So biggie advantage, super easily accessible, no hard download required, no IT required at all either. And I'll show you here in a second. All just done via drag and drop. So if you wanted to have a job fair or something and you wanted to drag in the flyer for your job fair, create a little sign up sheet and text out to 1,000 people, you can do that in 5 minutes or less. So no IT required. It's really quick to build that content like I just mentioned. And kind of the big advantage here is you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So you already, as I described, have all these phenomenal web-based resources, but they might be on this website, you got your job board over here, XYZ, they're all over. Because it's web-based, you can take any existing web-based resource you want and easily link them inside of it. So imagine this little icon right here is your job board. This one could be your job board. This is your calendar that you host on your website, so on and so forth. But point is, everything lives in one super accessible spot and is very, very easy to get in people's hands. So, all right, those are the two main tools. And as I dive in here, we're not to question times yet. We are on demo. So I'm going to make this as interactive as possible for all of us. And I encourage all of you to take out your cell phone real quick and scan this QR code. And what it's going to do, it's going to populate a text into your texting app that says Max to the phone number 925-431-6822. And if you hit send on that text, you will get a text message back. So again, if you scan that QR code, it will populate a text into your texting app that says Max to the phone number 925-431-6822. And if you hit send, you'll get a text message back. And I'll give you 10 more seconds to get that done. All right. So let's dive in. What you're looking at here is the back end of Engage by Cell's platforms, okay? Or back end of the platform itself. And just so you're all aware how you access this tool, You just go to engagebuysell.com. There's a little login button. You can click on that login button and it will take you to a login page. All of your staff will have their own login credentials. So there's a high level of accountability, and you can really kind of frame who has access to what, give certain levels of permissions, etc. You're in control of that. So I know that's a biggie. And if I'm a manager in the platform, I can actually add additional users. So if I onboard new folks to my team, I can easily go in and create their accounts for them. So to get started here, across the top, there's a bunch of different tabs. These are for some different tools that we offer. The ones I'm going to cover today are the text messaging, the mobile web app, and reporting. And on the text messaging tab here, on the left side, there's a bunch of different tabs for kind of the different tools that I just discussed. So again, that mass inbound, that mass outbound, and the one-on-one piece. And what we all just texted into is considered a primary keyword response. So what this looks like and what this does is, again, provides you that call to action. So rather than texting max to that 925 phone number, you'd be texting the word jobs or the acronym for your board, or it could be career center or something along those lines. And it would be a full 10-digit localized phone number that you would operate the platform through. So individuals local to you feel comfortable texting it. They recognize the area code. They know, hey, this is someone close to home that's trying to help me get employed. Okay. So this primary keyword, what it does, again, gives you that call to action to put out in the communities, automatically text that person's or that individual back, identifies yourself, states why they're texting in, hey, it's the job center, we're going to help you get employed, etc., whatever you want that messaging to be. And then three, and arguably most importantly, if we click that little see subscribers button, there's all of our phone numbers. So it's capturing those folks' phone numbers and helping you build that database of job seekers that you can start engaging with, okay? Now, down below, we also have secondary keywords. What these what it is a fantastic tool for you to create additional call to actions. Super common. The most common one I see is creating a little keyword and calling it job or career or whatever you want. We'll call it jobs. And we can say there's so many amazing local career opportunities near you. If I can spell today. To start your job search, please click here. And we're going to pretend just for a moment that shout out my friends from Gallia County, Ohio means jobs. We're going to pretend we're one of the job seekers in Ohio. This is their state-sponsored job board. So we're going to go in here and we're going to include that little clickable link. And we have this little shorten URL tool. So if you copy and paste any URL into this little box, hit submit, our system will automatically shorten it because obviously sometimes some URLs are not text friendly. They're super duper long. And we're going to hit save and we're going to attach a new little list to it. Call it webinar job seekers. And so now we have a whole new call to action for folks in Ohio. If you want to text the word jobs to that same 925 phone number or scan this QR code, you will get that text message back that we just created. And if you click that link, it'll take you to the Ohio State Job Board there. Other use cases I see here, this one's pretty broad, right? So creating little call to actions for specific programs. So adult services, youth programs, apprenticeship, or breaking it down by career opportunity. So if you have a ton of manufacturing jobs or healthcare jobs or whatever it might be, if you create one called welding and people text in the word welding, it'll automatically text them back with the link to maybe a little hot jobs page that just lists the welding career opportunities. And you saw me attach this little separate list to it. And what that's doing is building that little bucket of folks, hey, everybody in that example has texted in the word welding. So I need to really cater my outreach to them based on that knowledge. I don't want to be sending CNA opportunities to a welder. They don't care. They want to learn about welding. So you can get really targeted with your outreach utilizing these keywords to build little buckets like that. All right, that is the kind of mass inbound tool there. The next little piece is some mass outbound text messages. And again, two main use cases here. General comms and then for case management use case. So a great example of kind of a general communications would be a job fair push. So we can say job fair next Friday from noon to 5 p.m. Hiring on the spot. Please click here to register. And I am going to use that same Ohio link as a little hypothetical, but imagine that is taking them to the mobile web app where they can register if you have some other platform you would like to highlight and use for registration or whatever information you want. You could include that. Little preview of it here on the right side. Look it over. Hey, it looks pretty good. Step two is choose which list or lists you want to receive this. And again, you can have an infinite amount of lists in our system. You're already breaking these people down into different buckets or pipelines or funnels, whatever you want to call them. Oftentimes, I see it broken down by different stages and maybe the WIOA process. So, pre-eligibility, post-eligibility, they're actively seeking a career. And then you have your list for employment verification or TANF programs are broken down by different locations or folks who have attended your job fairs in the past, et cetera. Most of our workforce development clients have a whole lot of different lists going on because people are in different stages of the process, right? And you need to be specific with your outreach. So I just picked the list that the bunch of us are on for today. And then in this example, my job fair is next Friday. So you can schedule this and automate it to go out in the future. So if I wanted it for next Friday, I could hit them tomorrow, next Monday, Wednesday, and probably day of the event. Choose what time I want it to go out, hit save, and it will just automatically take care of it. For us right now, I'll leave it unscheduled and hit send. And all of us who texted in earlier will get that text message shortly. I just got mine. And the other main use case here is for case management. So I could say weekly case management follow up. And I could say, hi. And we have these little personalization tokens here that will automatically populate everybody's first name in there. We highly recommend that for case management. If you address them by their first name, much more high likelihood that they're going to respond to that. But what I'm going to do, since I don't have any of your first names, I'm going to say, hi, I hope you're doing well. Don't forget, you can always text me back if you need help with the job search. And I'll just choose the list that we're all on again. But if I was this case manager, right, I would set this up that I want it to go out weekly. I want everybody in my caseload to receive it every single Tuesday at, 10 a.m., etc. And I could set that up and then set it and forget it. Every single Tuesday at 10 a.m., my caseload is going to get that text encouraging them to reach out if they need assistance and just keep them going in the program here. Okay. I am again going to push this out to everybody because this leads me out into the next little portion with texting, and it's the one-on-one. So we all just got our text message for the little case management, the job fair. I want us all to role play here and pretend that we are a job seeker that just got those texts and respond to it. And I'm going to say, hi, I need help with my resume. Or you can say whatever you want, right? Well, I'll talk to people all the time in workforce. And so under this little conversation tab, this is where all of those text messages go that come in. I can see, hey, Max texted me and said, I need help with my resume. And I can say, no problem, Max. Would you like to send it over? And I can jump over here. No problem. Let's get you an appointment scheduled. And I can jump over to this person. You need help with interviewing skills. Not an issue. Let's get you some mock interviews set up. What day works best for you? So, point being is, I can jump in and help all of my clients really quickly. And first question I get asked about this, how do I know someone's in here, right? Do I have to sit and refresh this all day? How does it work? The answer is you can put your email and or your phone number in here, and it will actually alert you on your preferred kind of alert method, whether it's email or text message, and it'll tell you, hey, Max is in the queue. You need to jump in there and help him out. So you get alerted when people text in. All right. So last little bit, I kind of went over the lists here. Oh, before I jump over to that, just so you're aware, you can send picture messages as well. So your program flyers, hiring events, etc., anything you're already kind of pushing out in a picture format, you can do that through the platform as well. Super important. All right, manage lists and manage subscribers. Again, you can have as many different lists as you want. You can go in and create new ones, rename them, see if there are scheduled text messages or workflows attached to those lists, how many folks are in those lists, delete them if you need to. Manage subscribers is utilized more day to day, to be honest with you. This is where all of our contacts are, and obviously, you're already working with a ton of people. And what you can do is take your existing database, or if it's just my caseload of 20, 30, 40, 50 people, I can easily upload them into this system. And you do so by clicking this little upload subscribers button. Very, very simple Excel file, column A, B, and C, first name, last name, phone number. You can add additional identifiers too if you'd like to have kind of a case number ID, or if you wanted where they are in the process, pre-eligibility or employment verification, et cetera, you can add additional identifiers. So that is the texting in a nutshell here. The next little part, and I know I'm running short on time, but I will make this go quickly here, is the mobile web app platform. And let me get a live example pulled up for you. I live in Central Illinois and we are finally coming into spring here. So I'm going to go to the Virgin Islands mobile web app because it makes me live vicariously through them. And I will have a big old QR code pulled up here for everyone to scan, and I'll show you some different examples as well. But real quick, the big advantages here. No hard download required. As you're about to see, we're all going to scan this QR code. It'll pop up right on your phone. No IT required, so you can build a bunch of content really quickly and distribute it via text to a lot of people very simply, very fast. And three, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So you can easily add all of your existing amazing content, like the Ohio Means Jobs, for example, page could easily live inside of there. All right, so let's run through this. Just like before with texting, you've got some tabs here on the left. Keep in mind, these are very customizable. They can look and feel a lot of different ways. This navigation tab is how you control your home screen. And we'll run through some of their use cases. They've got a pretty common kind of batch of use cases. They link out their views page, which is just their territory sponsored job board, just like the Ohio Means Jobs. They've got their training resources. You can upload documents inside of here, and keep in mind every single little link or bar navigation or icon inside of here all have their own unique URL. So if I was trying to help an individual with their resume, I could grab the link to this resume uploader, text it over to them. They click that link, they can snap a photo of it, and I have it, right? And they link their hot jobs. You can actually book appointments at job centers or any kind of career center that you want in here as well. So you can help kind of assist with appointment scheduling. You can trigger text message conversations. So for those of you who scanned it, if you click that chat with us today, it will actually put you in contact with a case manager in the USVI. So if you're looking for a new career down where it's sunny, feel free. It's probably a nice person named Khalil, Kate, or Troy, but you can have your calendars. We have linked out metrics learning page here where they can get online certifications. We've got this cool little AI prompt builder where you can totally customize these. But if I want to be an Amazon delivery driver, it will spit out the keywords it suggests I put on my resume to do that. And so these are all customizable large language model prompts there for you. So how do you build content inside of these? So under this little build your pages, and I'm going to go to a page where no one's probably hanging out. And so we have all of these content engagement icons here. So again, text, video, audio, any file type. So PDF, Excel, Word doc, PowerPoint, maps to help people get directions to locations, fillable forms, fillable PDF forms, e-signatures on docs, quizzes, polls, surveys, you name it. It can easily live inside of here. You can iframe and embed existing websites as well, so you don't again have to create everything and be redundant. But if we were hosting a job fair, we can click this little text icon, drag it into the builder window, and say job fair March 23rd. And we want to have a little program flyer. We can drag an image down in there, and we are integrated with Canva, so you can easily design your flyers or whatever you want to put in here. I'm just going to grab a super basic logo, maybe the employer partners, the USPS. We've got our little flyer, and then we want to have a registration form. And we can have, let's see, job fair registration. We want their full name, their phone number, their email, and maybe, are you currently employed? And we go and hit save and live in real time. There's our little job fair registration. And again, I would just grab the URL to this and go text it out to 1,000 people, and they'll start signing up for your events right away. I'm going to delete those before the USVI calls me. There we go. Some other quick examples I can show you. Let me get one pulled up. Let's go to Chicago. So this is for the American Job Centers in Chicago, and they utilize it a ton, over 20,000 documents. I think it's 20,000. It's a lot. It's in the tens of thousands of documents have been submitted through this. And again, it's a fillable PDF form. So all those paper forms you got flying around can easily be digitized with an e-signature capability as well, where when that individual fills it out on their phone, hits submit, it will email it to you or whomever on your team, filled out and ready to go. But they use it for their WIOA orientation. They have their orientation videos. They've got employer assessments. They've got all kinds of forms in here. We can do a basic skills screening. There's a little e-signature example. And again, once someone fills this out and hits that submit, it'll go right to them. They also give a PDF version if that individual wanted to print it out and fill it out the old-fashioned way, they definitely can. So the last little bit here is reporting. So let me jump back over to my demo here. And then we will wrap it up with any questions that anybody has. And feel free to start throwing those questions in the chat window right now, and I'll start getting to them. Let me get my account pulled up so I can run over reporting real quickly. All right, so reporting dashboard. Data is really important, right? So under texting, all of these are different reports specifically related to text messaging. So how many texts were sent, received. You can track if you embed a little clickable link in it. If people actually click that link or not, you'll be able to differentiate. If you had 100 clicks, was it 10 people 10 times, one person 100 times? Those kind of data. If you needed to pull all the text messages between you and an individual, so if I needed to pull all the text for a caseload, I can easily do that. And you own the data. We just house and protect it. So you can pull it based on time ranges, export as an Excel, a PDF. You can print it out. Mobile web, same kind of data reporting here. A bunch of different reports. So how many people are going to the mobile app, web app? When are they going to it? Dwell times. Did they complete this form, etc. Again, all of that can be easily extracted into a PDF, an Excel, or printed out, whatever format works best for you. All right. I hope I didn't go too bad over time here, but I want to give you some, let me get this pulled up. There we go. Q&A, any questions anybody has, please feel free to throw them in the chat window at this point, and I can Will you be? Yes. So this is recorded and we will be sharing it. Absolutely. Any other questions from anybody? And if any of you do want to learn more, if you are not an existing client, I'm happy to meet with you, do a demo for your team. You can reach out to me anytime, max@engagedbysell.com. That is my direct line as well at 309-635-3943. And if you want to talk about a trial or pricing or any of those kinds of questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate it. I'll give it about another minute here. I know I went a little bit over time, but if none of you have any questions, we will go about our Thursdays here. Happy spring, everyone. And it's Thursday afternoon, so we got one more day and then it's the weekend. I hope it's going to be nice where you're at. You can get outside a little bit. I know that's what I'm going to try and do. And again, if any of you are going to be in Las Vegas next week for the forum, and if you want to connect, I'll be more than happy to do so. I'll be in Vegas Monday through Thursday. So I am looking forward to the forum. It's always a great event. But if none of you have any questions, I'll be happy to give you some of your day back here. But thank you, everyone, and taking the time to join me. And I hope, yep. Oh, are there new updates on Engage by Cell available to everyone? Yes, if you reach out, the Gallia County, if you reach out to either Casey, Fred, or myself, we'll get you all set up. Don't worry about it. All right. Well, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you again for joining me. And I will talk to you soon and maybe see some of you in Vegas next week. Bye now.